Hi gamers, it's SFG here, and we're taking a look at something a bit different today. As you can see, we're not doing Shadows of Forbidden Gods for a change, although we will be back with some content for that very shortly. Instead, what we're taking a look at today is a game called Dungeon Alchemist. Now, Dungeon Alchemist is a game where you can create and edit and export maps for virtual play or real life play, whichever you prefer, of any fantasy RPG, to be honest, tabletop RPG, so D&D, Pathfinder, those sorts of games. And it's fantastic. It's something a bit different. We normally cover like quote unquote games on the channel. And this is, it's almost a tool more than a game, but it is fantastic. For those of you who don't know, I am quite an avid Dungeons and Dragons player. I'm also a dungeon master at times, so I've got experience with that too. And this tool, this game, whatever you want to call it, has kind of made map making something of a dream, really, for me. Personally, you can literally, if you've got something in your mind that you want to create, within reason, you can do it with this program. And unlike many of the other programs that I've seen on the market, Incarnate, I've used that before. I still do use that actually for certain maps. What else is there? Dungeon. There's some other software out there anyway that you could do the same thing on, but this is, in my opinion, the quickest and the easiest. If you want to just do a quick forest map or a fort map or whatever, an alchemist laboratory map, right, it's incredibly easy to do so using this software. And even if you've got something a bit more specific in mind, the tools that this gives you enable you to create a map very quickly and very efficiently, in my opinion. So if you're a D&D player or a D&D DM, this might be something that you're very, very interested in. If you're not a player or a DM of D&D or a similar game, a tabletop RPG, but you've been interested in it, you might have watched Critical Role, or you might have watched or seen the film, right? The new Dungeons and Dragons film, what's it called? Honor Among Thieves. Either or, if you've got some interest in the game, or any tabletop RPG, I would highly, highly, highly recommend that you just find a club, a local club, if there is one, hopefully, fingers crossed, and join it. These days, you can even play online quite a bit. There's a number of online communities where you can play on things like Tabletop Simulator, which is how I tend to play now, my friends, or other virtual tabletops as well, where you can play D&D. But I would be, if you have even a passing interest, I would recommend to anyone to give it a go. It's there's nothing like it, right? You can play any sort of game, any RPG, any game, and it's there are limits, there are things that you can do and things you can't do, and there are boundaries, as it were. A tabletop RPG, yes, there are limits, yes, there are boundaries, but they tend to, within reason of your imagination and the core sort of setting, if you like, the rules of the setting. The world is your oyster, right? You can do whatever you like, yeah. And that liberation is something that I found just incredible when I first started playing. So I'd highly recommend it. Anyway, hopefully you have an interest in this piece of software, which is why you're here. You might have seen it advertised around. Perhaps you're a DM. Looking to make maps a little bit easier. Perhaps you're a player who wants to give your DM a bit of a hand, or maybe point them in the right direction of some way you can make fantastic quality maps. And I think this is the software for it, as I say. So let's take a look at this then. So this is a roadside camp map that I've downloaded from the workshop. You can download a number of things from the Steam workshop here. You can just download those maps and you can take a look here. Look, you can see all these different maps here. And you can just click on subscribe and obviously download those as if they were a mod. There's tons of them, look. Cities. So in terms of, I should probably go into specifics of this. The game is, the tool. Dungeon Alchemist is best for what I would define as encounter maps, if that makes sense. You're not going to be building, you could do a city map on this, like this one seems to be here, but I think it'd be difficult. You could also do world maps maybe on here, but yeah, I think these things would be more difficult and more of a faff. There's better tools for that, in my opinion. Instead, this is really for encounter maps, right? So either social encounters, battles, the sort of thing, chases, whatever the case may be. And you can just see here we've got tons of different options, right? Snow encounters 7 out of 9. A ferry on a bone tide, you know, tons of things. And I could just download one of these, pop it open, fight a club. Let's have a look at that real quick. But I could just download one of these, open it up, and there we are, we're in it, right? Apologies for the loading, but yeah, there's the thing. So I like to have it in, and I'll go through the tools in a second, but yeah, so this is an example of a fight club or a coliseum type. I might actually use something like this in my game fairly soon. But you know, see how easy that is? And what I used to do before this tool, personally, is scour the internet for free maps, normally by very talented creators. But kind of take them and use them. Sometimes they're very low quality and they didn't particularly suit. Sometimes they were okay for what I wanted to do, but not really perfect for what I was trying to accomplish, what I wanted to try and show, but they were the best I could have. For example, for a long time, I had a camp map that had like too many tents for the party, but it was just the best one I could find, right? Little things like that, I think, that break the immersion and break the kind of, you know, the gameplay, as it were. But as you can see, you can download any of these maps and you can edit them, you can change things, you can just be like, okay, I'm not sure I like this thing here, right? Okay, we'll just take it off. You know, it's gone. I don't like this, remove it, whatever. Put it wherever you like, yeah? I want it to be a different colour, let's change it then, yeah? Always different things here. Not sure what this is. Is this meat? A roast, yeah. I'm not sure what that's in a coliseum, but there we are. Maybe to attract the animals that no doubt come out of here. We've got a little character here. You can click on things and rotate them using the mouse wheel. You can also, one of the most important things, is set things so they do not collide, right? So press this off. So collisions here, off. And then you'll just be able to spin it freely, yeah? And it could just interact with the world as you see fit, so you can make things blend in with each other. So for example, this zoom in with the mouse wheel, this skull I could just position it right inside there if I wanted. I could turn it, I can lower the height. That's a new feature they've added. This game's currently in development. It's in I'm not sure if it's in alpha or beta, but it's in development and it is getting new features like wildfire. The features are huge as well. We're talking huge scenes, completely different scenario, aesthetics. It's fantastic, the development. But what we're going to do, I'm going to quickly show you how you make a map. So we click here, new map. We could choose to do print for paper, and it'll give you either different sizes, A2, different orientations. We could choose different sized paper here, or we could choose digital, which is what I tend to do, and you can do different sizes. I use this side because it suits best with the Tabletop Simulator. If you're using, it suits it very well if you're using one world on there. This ratio of tiles, and then but you can have this as whatever you want, right? You can have 50, 100, whatever. Yeah, it'll just keep expanding if you want to make a really long or really tall map. Terrain here, you can pick between these. So dark parchment is like blank canvas, right? There's nothing there, there's no terrain. And then you've got a number of other ones: badlands, caves, desert, forest, grasslands, jungle, skeletal plains, and snow, right? These aren't building types or internals. This is just the external decoration, as it were. So let's just choose, I tend to do a lot of grasslands and forest. Let's do, I don't know, let's do a desert one for a change. So we've got desert here, there's the terrain. We can pick, that'll determine what different I'll show you in a second what different terrains we can paint. We can choose the elevation here: flat, dunes, large, one big large dune, mountains, ravine, flooded ravine, etc, etc, cave system even if you wish. Let's pick here, we'll do a large dune. Vegetation, none, cacti saguaro, don't know what that means, apologies. Dense growth or oasis, obviously water, so let's do cacti saguaro because I'm not sure what that means. Water, yes or no. We're going to leave that as no. Weather, we can have it in a snowy desert if we wish. That's only at the minute there's only snow to be added, but I'm sure as they develop the game there'll be more like rain. What else would you want? Rain, I guess. Well, you can already edit the sun. I'll show you how to do that in a little while in terms of the day cycle. Yeah, maybe. What else would you want? Like a stormy, I guess. Yeah, I suppose snow is pretty much it, right? Or rain maybe. And then where you want the rooms to be placed, whether you want them at water level, which is at the bottom, whether you want to be on a plateau, which is middle, or whether you want them to be top of the placement. So we'll put them in the middle here. Just generally I'll keep them at ground level, but let's put them a bit higher. And then we just press create here, and this will automatically create a new base for my map. So here we are, here's my map here, and you can see it's at this particular orientation is just flat down, so I can see what it looks like to the players when I export it. You can change that by clicking on this icon. It'll give you a lovely, there we are, a lovely side view. I should mention that these maps can be exported into any pretty much virtual tabletop simulator type environment, so you can have them so that the players can actually walk around them if you wish. You can also have them so that they're, the way I do them is that they're just pictures, they're just JPEGs or whatever, so you can edit them that way. But I don't think there's a type of virtual tabletop that this won't work with. We'll go into rooms in a second. The first thing I want to show you is the terrain here, so we can mess with the terrain, we can raise, lower it, flatten it, so on and so forth, right? So let's raise the terrain a little bit, we can choose the strength of how quickly it raises and flattens or what have you, and we can choose the size. Let's just raise it a bit, let's raise some of these dunes, make them nice and tall, there we go. There we are, you see the dunes are rising there. Makes a little difference if you're looking from a top-down view, but it can, it can make something of a difference. You can flatten it to make it a nice flat area. That doesn't look great, so smooth that out. Right, make it nice and smooth like a desert should be, there we go. As you can see, there are some weaknesses as such with this from the standard view. If I was giving this to my players, it's quite difficult for them to be able to tell how tall this dune is. So you've got to remember there's certain things here that you probably want to... I use little tricks really to emphasize the height of things. What I would do in this case, I would change the shadows. I'll show you how to do that in a second. So they could see a shadow here and see that was higher, or on the other side, whichever. We can clear terrain. That'll get rid of the cat tie, I believe. Yeah, there we are. Flatten terrain to room height. We know what that is. So this will make the terrain the same level as the room. If you want to build a room here, you don't need to do this, but just to make it a bit more clear. Perhaps when you're building it, so it looks a bit neat with the rest of the environment. You can paint different types of terrain. So this is all the terrain I can paint onto a desert landscape, right? So I've got this one here. Control Z to undo that. I've got this. Control Z to do that. Not much looks great with the this one looks okay with the dunes because it's such such an iconic style really. There's all these different types, and you can again choose the strength or not of these things. So look, if I do this one and make it really weak, you see the impact is barely there, it's negligible, right? Conversely, you can make it very strong, and obviously then it would just be like, I'll show you, a big road running through the middle there, yeah? I don't like the way that border is, so I would remove that personally on this one. And you can also paint liquids as well. You need to be low enough to do so, so as you can see it's lowering that there, so there we are. Now we've got liquid, right? Just undo that, and you've got ice, clear water, lava, muddy water, blood, acid, and cave water, which is just a bit danker water than the normal clear one. You could draw caves using this tool. So this will raise an area, and then you can carve into it to create caves. I'm not going to cover that now. I might do if there's a big request for it. I'll cover that in a future video. And then you can change the terrain. If I was like, I don't fancy a desert, actually, maybe I should do Badlands. You can change that in a heartbeat, yeah? Just do this. Keeps the same pretty much, and then you just change the terrain, job done. Okay, we'll leave that for now. I'll quickly show you the lighting when I was talking about. So here you can see the different how high, right, the sun is. So you can have it at night time. There we go. There's still shadows of the moon, of course. You can have it when the sun's going down at sort of dusk. You can have it at dawn there, or you can have it at midday-ish, right? You can also go into more advanced by clicking on this icon, and then you can really play with the I mean, look at that, silly, but you can play with the strength of the lighting here. You can play with where the light is. You can also increase how high the sun is. Okay, so I would have the sun fairly low on a map like this, so I could exemplify these shadows and make sure the players knew this was up. Right, it doesn't say how high up it is, but that is up to you as the DM, I guess, to describe. Yeah, you can change different lights here as well if you want it to be dark, green, whatever colour you prefer. I always pretty much just leave it on one of these two. Sometimes this one for a night time, but very rarely do I mess with these. Okay, so that looks great. We're happy with our little desert scene now. Let's make some buildings, and this is the beauty of this, right? This is the real strength of this program, and the developers have just added the feature to be able to make rooms that are not square effectively, but I'm going to just leave with the square rooms for now. So let's say we wanted to do a desert. What should we do here? Maybe some, we've got hovel. You can see different options here: hovel, laboratory, baths, hammam, tea room, throne room, treasury, residential tent, tea house tent, tent shop, right? So we'll do a little tent shop here right now, real quick, and you'll see what happens with this. So we build it, make it your size, press the tick, it does it itself, yeah, it auto-populates. Let's say I was like, oh, it's a great, I love this, it's a great tent shop, but I want to make, maybe I should make a tea house tent connected to it. Okay, that's easy, you just build it off, yeah? Link it in some way, I can continue this if I wish. Press plus, it'll even automatically place doors, there they are, look. These here, and there's your tea room there. You'll notice there are no roofs on the buildings, that's deliberate, they haven't added those yet, I'm sure they will if they wish. But for now there's no roofs, yeah, so just bear that in mind when you're, if you're considering getting this. But you can see, I mean, look at this, that's just automated, yeah. I haven't done, as you can see, I've done nothing apart from click the size, job done, right? Let's just go out here a second. Let's say I was not massively impressed with this room. Edit rooms, here we go. Let's say I was like, oh, you know, I want this room, but I don't want it to look like this, it looks stupid. You can click this and it'll just jig things around, yeah? Jig things around again. Jig things around again until you're happy. Right, you can just keep doing that. Or, you could change the theme here. I can make it a castle, I can make it a crypt, blah blah blah, pits, whatever. Or, I can make it a different style even. I can go, oh, do you know what, I don't want it to be a tea house tent, I think it should be a treasury. Done. Right? See how easy that was? Okay, maybe it doesn't fit now. I'm like, I've got these weird doors, I've got these doors don't really go, and the walls don't really go together. I can change those very easily as well. We'll do that in a second. Yeah, it says show ceiling in this cinematic mode, but that's only when you're in the building, yeah. It's not if you're outside the building, just for your information. Let's turn that back into a, what was it? A tea house tent. Kept the walls there, so I'll change them in a sec. In fact, whatever, let's leave it as a, let's put a hammam in. There we go, nice fancy hammam, right? Now, let's just click on walls here. So I'm like, oh, I don't like this mishmash here. It's got stone here, it's got tent there, I want to change it. Easily done. I'll just go to the stone walls option here, and I find the one that's most the same, right? So, well, I'll find the same one, effectively. Looks to me like it's carved funky stone. There are some things that could be improved in this in terms of making this a little bit easier to find. It's this one, isn't it? There you are, look. You just hover over, you click. Job done, yeah? The doors now don't look like they're suitable, right? These folded door type. They could be suitable, but I wouldn't go for them. So let's change them too, right? So we just click on the doors here, place doors. You could choose any door you wish. I could have an arch, right? It's got 2 by double size, it's got single size here, as you can see. Right, double size or single. Let's find a nice broken arch. No, it doesn't go the colour. I spend a lot of time just, as you can imagine, messing with this. That doesn't quite go, it's too fancy. Is this a smaller? No, it's bigger. We'll have to put a bigger one in. Sucks to be me. I can also just delete doors. Like these two probably in a silly place, which I may well do. I like this open tent, I'll leave that in. But I might, you know, I might be, don't like this door. It's gone, right? It just automatically reconfigures it for you. Don't like this one, get rid, don't like this one. Delete 2, job done, yeah? As you can see, we could change the colours of the doors, of these fabric ones where suitable. You know, any colour I like, I can make it black, I can make it white too using this. We can spin it because I've taken off collisions, have I? He says. No, they're on, it's defaulted. But I can now. No, it's, apologies, it just orientates on 90-degree angles, right? So there's not much spinning there to be done with that one. But all these different things, yeah, all these different features you can see, everything here, this, the whole thing can be edited as I see fit, yeah? So I'm like, I don't like, that should be red, right? Or as red as we can make it. About there, maybe. Or if I don't like it, or if I love it, I can copy it and do it again. This is where collisions is actually useful. We can hold control and it'll automatically snap to the correct place. You can rotate it again, right? I can create multiple of them. I could just delete them. If I don't like them, I don't like these as it happens here. Why are they so old? Seems like a fairly fancy establishment. You can add little potted plants. The objects are, well, look, there's tons and tons and tons and tons. Look at all this. beds, baths, desks, shelves, cupboards, benches, chairs, counters, broken stuff as well, of course. So I might want like, oh, look at these bank teller ones. See, this stuff's been added already. So I might want, okay, I want a corner bank teller counter in here. Done, right? Like, just like this. It doesn't look great actually, but there we are. You know, I might want to add that there. Add it here perhaps. In fact, no, that doesn't work. I want to do something else. Let's add this one instead, yeah. So I could pop that down there. Done. No, it looks silly with this 10, so I can delete that. Or I can move it. Control Z on that. I can move it, he says. No, oh yeah, apologies, needs hold control, but I can place that wherever I want. I'm like, oh, it's snapping in a silly place. I want it to be like here. Or I could just put it there if I wish. Or, if that doesn't work, you've got pre-built things, as you can see. Maybe I want like a, let's just put in a funky table, right? There, done, it's in. Spin it around as you want it. I can't change the colour of this one. I can make it, I can have the table floating in midair if I wish, right? Right, like this, look. Woo! Or I can put it on the floor, you know, as you would if you had common sense. Or you can have it sunken in if you want it to be like a pit type thing, right? But you can see here how flexible this tool is. And, you know, how creative you can be with it, right? You can just create anything you want, right? And like I say, the beauty for me isn't, I love playing with it, which is kind of a problem in a way because, you know, it's designed to be, let's have a look at some windows. It's designed to be a tool to make things quicker, but because it's so fun, I'm like, I spend a lot of time just messing about basically in this. I must have spent sort of easily 20 hours, like easily, and I haven't had this game long. It's kind of embarrassing, to be honest. You can mix and match your windows as you see fit. You can have a big arch or whatever. That's more of a, that's a smaller one. This bigger? No. But yes, you can mix and match the windows. You can have you know, any different combination that you wish, but the amount of hours, I haven't had this game that long. It's been released a little while, but I haven't had it too long, but I've spent so many hours in this. And again, just to give you an idea about how easy this is, you know, I want to add, I've got a hammam, I want to add baths here, you know, it makes sense to have baths in this bit maybe, a nice big bath, there we go, job done. Then I want to have, no, floor, I don't like how that looks immediately, so I'll just rejig it. Stupid again, rejig it. And you see, you might need to make it bigger, right? Because I can see there that the bath that he wants to put in is 2. Oh, there we go. There's a bath that's a little more suitable. Don't like the way that is, but I can change that easily enough. And then I'm like, you know, I want to have like a little, a residential tent next to it, yeah, because that's where people get changed or something. Okay, well, just pop that in here. Bop, 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 bom. There you are. There it is, yeah. And the size of this will mean there's different things that are added to it. Like I say, you can reconfigure it using this. You can add things or delete things as you see fit. Like I wouldn't have that door there, for example. And again, let's say that I was kind of like, right, I've done this. I'm happy with how it looks, but do you know what? I don't want it to be this anymore. I want to change what it is, yeah? Can you select multiple? Not yet. All you do is you select the edit room. You can change the size of it, by the way. You can just add things here, add or remove, whatever. Add there. Or I can click on a room and edit it. Let's say like I don't want it to be in the desert, man. I'm going to actually change this to be like a crypt. And yeah, let's have it as pits. Done. Yeah. This one should be a lava pit. Why not? And it's pit, isn't it? Let's do a... oh, it's on because we're on pit. City May, right? Apologies. Crypt. Another pit. Let's do a bottomless pit. Look at this. Look how great that looks and how easy that is to do, right? Let's change it to something else though. Let's do a rock dig. Why am I back in the pits? Put me in the crypts, huh? There we are, dungeon. So you got a dungeon there. I can have this. Okay, I'm not sure about pits. I'm gonna have a crypt. I'm gonna have a great hall. I've been using the crypt a lot because it's great for, you know, your generic kind of ruins, right? There is another ruins one, I think, but I prefer the... You don't want a lava pit there. No, that looks silly. Let's do a canal. Too big. Let's do a... We're back in pits. Keep sneaking me in there. Let's do a chapel. There. Now I can standardise all these, by the way. If I want all the floors to be the same, it's very easily done as well. You just go to the floor editing tool, place floor tiles here, you find the one you want. So let's say I want... and they are kind of like organised, right? You can heart them as you can see if you're your favourites. But let's say I want that stone on there. Acid canal, oh my gosh, look at this. Iron full plates, that'll do. Let's just do this, look. Bop. Notice the lighting is automatically changing. You just paste it where you want it, yeah? Look at this. Done. Done, 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 done. Simple as that. That's how easy it is. And when you're editing the rooms as well, I should mention, look, I could do this, but I can elect to keep different parts of them. I can delete the objects, like this. See you later. I could change the theme. I'm sure there's a way to keep, that's it, yeah, keep the floor look. So I can keep the floor, don't change that, but change everything else, yeah? Crypt, hallway. No, it did change the floor. Mother flipper. But again, very, very simple, very, very quick tool, right, for making maps. And then finally, let's be, oh, do you know what, I've done this, it looks a bit stupid here. I'm gonna edit the whole thing. Again, just come to terrain type. I want it to be in, this belongs in caves, right, solid rock. Large cavern, let's say, torches, no water, no weather, cave, let's go. There it is. Yeah, this is now in a cave, simple as that. Now, I could honestly speak for about 3 hours about this game and it's already on 26 minutes, so I'm going to try and keep it, I'm going to try and wrap this up now, but, so apologies guys, but if you can't already tell, this game is, I absolutely adore it. I think it's a fantastic tool for anybody that, certainly any DM, if you play any sort of fantasy game, which the majority I think of DMs tend to play RPGs, tabletop RPGs, this is such a fantastic tool. Highly recommend it. I think it's about £25, maybe £30, whatever that is in your local currency, on Steam. It's getting updated very regularly. I think it's every 3 months, every quarter it gets an update, but the update isn't small yet, it's massive. We're talking substantial, chunky updates. I would, if you're looking to make maps and you want to add a bit of quality, or in my case, it wasn't so much quality, I just wanted to have exactly what I wanted, right? So I'm like quite particular. In my head I have a vision of like an inn, let's say, and I wouldn't even always use the maps, by the way, but I've got this vision of an inn and I want that exact vision on paper, or on digital paper as it were. That's what this lets you do, yeah? You can have the tables where you want them, you can place the counters where you want them, you can put the toilets where you want, all that good stuff. You can do it exactly as you want and really create something bespoke and unique to yourself. And if that doesn't work, if you're kind of like, well, I haven't got time, you know, like I say, I've spent hours on this, but if you're like, I haven't really got time, I just want a quick, you know, I need a few quick, like, I don't know, cave maps, yeah, easily done, right? This is how quick it is. I want a new cave system, blah, 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 blah. I want no weather. I want it to be glowing mushroom cave, why not? We don't want any lights, because glowing mushrooms. Cave, yes, create. Then this is, it's as easy as this, yeah. And I can go, yeah, that's great. Copy, save, job done. What you do is you go to file, export here. You do it as you see fit. You want it 3D walls, fully 3D walls, no 3D walls, just flat down, whatever. Only render the lights in the image. You can, you know, we've seen all of this, right? Grid on or off. Do you want the grid square? Do you want it hex? Look at this. What color do you want the grid? Right? I tend to keep it off now to make it easier for myself. How transparent you want the grid? Color or not? Look at this. I mean, ridiculous. And then you just choose where you want to export it to. And then you go, okay, that's great, but I need like another 5 of them. Okay, it's as quick as this, yeah? Just do it again. And again, and again. It's, you see this, you see how good this is? And how simple this is to use? Highly recommend it, guys. Hopefully that's probably been useful for some of you. Apologies it's not shadows, but I thought I'd want to cover something a bit different for a change. As always, thank you for watching. If you like what you see, hit the like button. If you'd like to see more, hit the subscribe button, you know, all that good stuff. Thank you, as always, to my members. I've currently got 2 as recording this video. There is Fed and Canned, long-time member, bless him, and also Hulla Saucer. Thank you both. It is very, very much appreciated. And if you're interested in becoming a member, there's a little button you can press. I think it's £2 to become a member of the channel. Don't feel pressured. If you haven't got the money, don't bother. It's fine. And yeah, I'll hopefully see you all on the next video. Take care.